Hey guys. Okay, so hi, Libby. Sorry, my dog is like being all attention-y. Sorry, you gotta go, girl. So hey guys, so I've been doing a lot of talking to I've been talking to a lot of people lately about this whole thing that's going on with the minorities and the Democrat and the Republican Party, and I actually ran into Marco Gutierrez a few times out at different rallies and different situations like that. Like I think we saw each other at the American Priority Festival, and then also one time in Sacramento, which we're going to be going to another thing in Sacramento together, but we'll get into that. But anyway, so I ran into Marco Gutierrez and I asked him if I could interview him. The reason why I think this is important for people to see these kinds of things is because these interactions between different groups that the left would call minority, it's very important to show that we can come together, because when we do come together, we become the majority. And I think that's important to talk about these things, especially during a time right now where there's such a divide in America and they're trying to use race and sexuality and things like that against us constantly. So that intro is a little bit quicker and crazier, but I do have something that planned in an hour tonight, so I got to kind of move this interview along kind of fast. So we're going to go ahead and stick to some quick questions. But I wanted to introduce Marco Gutierrez. If you guys haven't heard of him, you guys can go to his website. It's reallatinosfortrump.com. It's a really, really good website, and that's where I got all my information about him today. I've watched a lot of his YouTube videos and seen him on different news sources. He's also been featured on things like Fox News. So this is Marco Gutierrez. Hey, Marco.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, so this is Marco, and yeah, we can see it. And so this is Marco. So I'm gonna go ahead and let him introduce himself and tell you guys a little bit about what he does in the movement. Well, so go ahead, Marco. What do you do in this? Like, what is your role in this movement?
You know, I like to be one of the Hispanic voices out there. I was one of the first ones that went viral. My support for Trump in 2016, and I like to just go out there and try to bring Hispanics together for Trump.
What makes you support Donald Trump?
You know, a lot of things, but mainly what really helped me gravitate towards Trump was jobs. You know, in the industry which I work, I saw thousands households disintegrate because of the economy, because of the Obama policies during the mortgage meltdown. When Trump comes, he says he's going to bring jobs back, he's going to make America great again. I'm like, sign me up.
Definitely, and we've been seeing a huge actual increase in a lot of things that everything he's promised so far, he's been delivering on, which is awesome. But we've seen a huge increase in people being able to get jobs again and be able to obtain employment. And a lot of people are opening small businesses again. And we're having a lot of people making money in the Trump economy. And so I think it's really, really great that that you were right on the money with that one. I voted for Trump because I thought it was I honestly would have voted anything different than Hillary, to be honest with you. I'm pleasantly surprised at how well Donald Trump's doing. He's doing well for all the community, everybody's communities, like all the American communities, while the whole time he's also reminding us that we're all American. And I think that's why I support Donald Trump. And I think that what you're doing is awesome. Is you're such a big voice in this community. I've noticed you at a lot of different rallies and stuff like that. Do a lot of Hispanic people support you, or are they against you? Like, how is your experience with that?
Well, now it's safer to be a Hispanic for Trump. The numbers that just came out show that 1 in every 3 Hispanics support Trump. Then it was harder. They used to call us 12%. But the biggest problem is that the closet Trump supporters. And my brother's one of them. I've been trying to get him out of the closet for a while. He's he's a contractor, so he understands that Trump's policies keeps him busy, and that's where he's making his money. And one thing that people need to understand out there, because most of us are immigrants from third world countries, that basic needs are a problem. When there's food on the table for Hispanics, they're successful. And I think that Hispanics feel successful right now.
Yeah. Well, I honestly would have always thought most Hispanics would be conservative, because Hispanics are about God. They're about family values. They're against abortion. they're for the family unit in general. And so that's a lot of very conservative values. And so it's really surprising to me to find out that a lot of Hispanics aren't conservative, to be honest, just because you would think they would be. But I think that the border thing kind of scares people because there's so many things said about the border that aren't true, or that some of them are true, and nobody knows how to decipher between them. So I think it creates a divide between Hispanics and the American conservatives. Can you agree with that?
Yeah, and here more imaged with each other. Our cultures are closer together. That's what you see. Parties are big. So
yeah.
And what happens, there's a lot of social pressure, and the Democrats have been very successful, marketing to Hispanics in a way that they kind of feel that they have to identify as Democrats, or else they will be socially criticized. Like in my case, they will be ridiculed, like the way they did to me.
Yeah, in my community, we experience the same exact thing, to be honest with you. In my community, it's very taboo to support Donald Trump and be gay. Although I don't understand how that is, because all the evidence is pointing to we should be supporting him, not against him. So I think that what you guys suffer from is very similar to what my community suffers from, especially here in California, as we're both from here. I think that we're being used as tools, and we're being weaponized. I think it's important for people like me and you to come together and to speak about those things, because we have so many people that are in the closet, like your brother is, and like I have so many friends as well that are gay that can't be open about supporting Trump. The thing that makes it a problem is that since they can't feel open about supporting Trump, they have to go along with when people are hating him and saying bad things. So essentially, they're kind of hurting us, even though they did support Trump in the closet. They're still kind of hurting us because they're condoning it and letting all these lies happen. I think it's important that we start to find a way to get them to have courage enough to come out and speak. I think that's a challenge, though. Do you have any suggestions on what you think with the Latino community? What suggestions you give people that want to speak out that haven't? Like, what gave you the courage?
For one, is that people should forget what Obama did to us. He really instituted a bunch of, especially in the gay community. I think that he tried to say that he was for gays, but he was really using the gay card. Hispanics that are LGBT, they're part of that, and I think that they felt that they really didn't feel that included in their message. But my suggestion is to see the powers, because everybody has the power to vote, and I think Hispanics haven't taken ownership of that. I don't know if in the gay community it's the same way. They do have the power in their hands, and to use it, and use it wisely. Of course, I would suggest for them to vote Republican, but if they have to go to at least do it, because participation is what makes this country great and beautiful. I mean, if for some reason they don't feel they're on the right on the Republicans, but to participate so that they can say there was a great portion of the gay community that came and played.
Well, that's actually a new perspective. I've never thought about it like that, because the gay community, we don't really have that problem where we have people that just simply don't vote. I'm sure we do. I'm sure every community kind of has a little bit of a percentage, but you're right. I never really thought about that. But Hispanics, a lot of them don't vote. A lot of them don't they don't really use their voice, and they have opinions, but a lot of them just simply, don't really vote and participate. So you're right. I think that is something that both of our communities should do, is participate 100%. I think my community is more used as a mouthpiece. We're used. They get us mad easy, and we're like, yeah, like we'll fight for gays, like because they tell us these things that sound so mean and so divisive. They say that people on the right don't support gays and they hate us, and just like they say with the racism thing to you guys. But at the same time, I find it to be my community is more vocal, I think, politically, although they're not more educated. They're just simply more vocal about what they hear. Like, they're very responsive. They'll respond to anything that they see or hear, as opposed to research it and find out if it's true or not, But I think that it's important that we all participate, for sure, 100%. What would you say the Hispanic community, with Hispanics alone, like, do you think that a lot of them don't participate because they, think think it's rigged, or B, maybe too close to their families to where they don't want to be judged, or do you think C, they just simply don't care?
I think in this case it's a little bit of all. In our countries, things are so corrupt. I feel that there's no difference whether they do it or not. But here, Hispanics are the lowest. They have the lowest participation of all ethnic backgrounds. But I think it's mostly because they don't think it applies to them. They really haven't taken ownership. They don't feel that they're American yet. And if there's any millennials listening to us right now, I can tell them that they need to give themselves permission to be Americans, because you have a lot of kids of immigrant parents that don't feel they have the permission to be Americans, because they feel that betraying their parents, because their parents still have allegiance to the failed country they came from.
Wow. That's a really good perspective. I never really thought about that, but that's true. And also, it's crazy to me that I'm born and raised in America. Whether you're naturalized or you're born here, to me, we're all equally American. But it is crazy to hear somebody else say that, like, in your other country that you said it was corrupt there. Well, in America, the gays that don't vote are the gays that are saying it's corrupt, so why vote? So they think it's so corrupt here. And so that's cool. That's a cool perspective, actually, that when you guys come here, you guys don't see it as corrupt like some of the Americans do. I think that then I think participation would be even more useful from your community than it would be from mine, if anything. I think my community, I'm tired of them being lied to about everything. With you guys really have the numbers. You guys have the numbers, and you guys have the family values. You guys have God with you. You guys come with a lot of the traditional conservative values. And I think that it's important to speak out against that. But I never really heard somebody else call the country they came from more corrupt than us. That's cool. That was cool to hear, I guess.
Well,
we're spoiled.
Think about it. In Mexico, there's a park called El Power for 85 years.
Damn. Hello? Did I lose you?
That can happen.
Oh.
Can you hear?
I think it just cut out for a second.
Okay, I was saying that it's a political party that was in power for 85 years. So that's how corrupt it can get. Yeah. So we don't want that.
Was it the same? Wait, was it the same president for 85 years, or was it the same just like party as in like we called the Republicans? Was it just a party, or was it like the same leaders for 85 years?
Well, the party, so they will put in power anybody they wanted. So, and you kind of see that here too.
You guys don't? They don't vote?
No, yeah, they do vote. They do the whole. Everybody was on an act. You already knew who was going to win anyway. It was going to be them.
Is it that like out in the open there?
Almost pretty much, and they would celebrate.
Wow.
And that's why I celebrate. We know there was no really decision made there for the citizen, but they did lose this time. They lost a couple sexennials, which is every 6 years. And you see it here too, because when you see Nancy Pelosi, you see Maxine Waters being in power for so long, you're starting to get to that corrupt level of corruption. That's why we need term limits. We need to get new blood, new people that will bring the new voice of America to the House.
Well, I will say that I think that me and you are key in this movement, and I think it's really important to point out that the Republican Party is doing something right now that they've never done before. And Trump, I'm not exactly so pro-Trump. I am pro-Trump, but I'm not like so pro-Trump to where it's about him. To me, he's a symbol. He's a symbol of heart that he's giving back to all Americans. We're fighting right now, but we're fighting because we finally woke up and we saw the truth. And the truth is there is corrupt people in our government. They do need term limits. They've been there way too long. They've been using the system so much. That's why they're so crazy right now, because they know that we know finally. So they're really trying whatever they can to shut us up. But I think that it's really awesome of the Republican Party to finally, for the first time in history, open up to minority groups. And I hate saying that word minority. I hate that word. I hate the word minority, because we're American. I'm American. You're American. We're American. And we're different. Why are we shocked? We're different, and that's okay. But I think that it's really cool of the Republican Party to put us on the forefront. If you notice, they're putting all of them, like minority people, towards the front lines, and it's doing well. It's making them not only change their minds, but we're also helping people on the left. We're helping people on the left come over to the right, but we're also helping people on the right understand that me and you are just as fucking American as them. You know what I mean? Excuse my French, but it's true. You know, we're just as American as them, and we have a place here too. And I think that's awesome to find those similarities. And the Republican Party, thank you to anybody who's Republican, who's opened up their hearts to people like me and you, because me and you would never been heard if it was the old party, you know?
Right. And Trump did say it on a few of his speeches. He said that the future of the Republican Party was the Trump supporters. And I'm seeing it. You know, when you see like the vice chair for the GOP here in California, Peter Cole, I don't know if you have had the opportunity to listen to his story.
Yeah,
it's awesome. You know, it'll rock the socks out of anybody that listens to him, because it is the future of the GOP, whether we like it or not, because the demographics have been changing. Yeah.
I love it because I've always been a person for equality. I've always believed in 100% equality. And I guess that's why I thought I was a Democrat. But I believed in real equality, meaning we don't need extra rights. We just want equal rights. I don't want to be judged for my sexuality. I want to be judged for what I do in life. So I didn't want to be known as the other. I didn't want to be the gay guy. I wanted to be just an American citizen and be just normal like everybody else and enjoy my rights like everybody else. So that's what I fought for. And I feel like my community, we got that. I feel like we got that. Yeah, there's always going to be some people in the world that are just horrible and stupid. And there's always going to be those pockets of hate, but we can always address that. That's always going to be bad. But to say that the whole country is like one way or a hateful in one way is really wrong of the left. And I think it's really brainwashed a lot of people into hating so many others. But my community, we got our rights. I'm equal. I'm an American. So that's what I talk about to everybody. I tell everybody that, look, it's time that we stop separating away. Like we can't label we can't separate to end segregation. You know what I mean? Like you can't separate people and then say that that's how you're going to end segregation. It just won't work. You can't like hate for love. It just won't happen. So I think it's really awesome that we are taking over, in a sense, taking over the Republican Party. But like, I just said they were nice for like letting us, but then I'm like, oh, we're taking over. Like we are we kind of are. I mean, I like your statement better. We're the future of the Republican Party, which is great. And I've always been a person for family values. And I've always been a person for American rights. So I can do that and I can still be patriotic and still be gay. Like that's amazing. That's amazing because I've always said that that's possible, but I've never had a place where I fit in because like so many people on the gay are on the left and so many people on the right, I was told hate gay people, which I was wrong. I get it. I was wrong. I was totally wrong, but I was told they hate gay people. So I thought I wouldn't fit in anywhere, you know, but we are the new Republican Party. And I think it's great that we have a platform to talk to our communities and get them to wake up a little bit. So
you know what, Chris?
Yes.
Let me just add one thing to that. I went to the Democrat convention here in San Francisco a few months ago, and I went there.
You did? How'd you make it out alive?
Well, I was streaming maybe. I didn't see what they sell on TV. I didn't see that inclusion, you know, that they have. I didn't see the Hispanics that they talk about. I didn't see the gay people they talk about. I saw little fragmented groups here and there. Like, you know, all these candidates would come in with their group, make a lot of noise, and leave. And they wouldn't stay and have fun like me and you do at these events.
Right.
Because we are one. We're family. And you can feel it. You know, we haven't met in person, but we see each other online, and we really gravitate towards one another. And
Marco, we were at the yacht party together. Remember that yacht party where we didn't make it to the yacht because we were all like tired? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you're right. You're right. And the love is felt like my first Trump rally that I ever went to. The first thing I saw was Arabs for Trump, and I was like, what? And so I went. I interviewed all these people. And when I went home to edit the footage, I remember him being Arab, but I went to go edit the footage and I realized that I didn't realize it, so I left. But I didn't interview not one white person except for the girl I came with. Otherwise, every single person I interviewed was every different race, every different background, every different sexuality, and it was awesome. It was awesome to see that because when I was there, though, I didn't see that because I didn't pay attention to it. We just saw red, white, and blue, and we all got along, and it was good. It's always good company, and the Democratic convention. I just think about when I went to the Bernie convention and the Bernie rally, and that was really scary. I thought I was gonna like die. I was gonna be killed. But I thought it was safe to go there because Bernie supported like earthy, you know. No, I was wrong. I was wrong. But anyways, long story. I went to a Bernie rally and it was ugly. It got really ugly. But anyways, the Democrat convention is interesting. You do say that because they only, I feel like, try to sell their inclusion and their love for all. They only try to sell it, I think, on TV, because in real life, I've never seen it my entire life. I've always seen them try to like separate people away into small groups, and then they pin us against one another. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy that they always claim they want. Yeah, they always claim they want equality, but yet they always segregate us away. They never want to actually just say we're human. They want to say, well, acceptance means we have to label everybody, and that's not acceptance. That's separation. Because if we didn't have labels, if we were just different, that's okay. That's less of a blow. But now that you have people that are cis, white, Latino, and femme, male, or whatever, you know, all these labels that they have right now, there's so many. They put us all in categories. If we didn't make those labels and we were all just different, well, I guess then we'd all be different. So there'd be nobody to really make fun of or hate. But now that we're all these different labels, we've learned to create hatred for them, for the labels, and we put everybody in boxes. And I think it's really crazy and that's the party that claims that they're wanting equality. You know what I mean? And inclusion and tolerance. But they don't do any of those things. Like, none of those things. When I marched in those parades, I was really known in my gay community. Okay, so, and I'm in Southern California, so it's a lot of Latinos here, a lot of them. In fact, we have huge Latino gay clubs, like huge. They're the biggest ones. So, and most of my friends I used to go to those clubs with a lot, and I got a well-known name there, and I started going to parades. I started going to all the conventions, all the pride things, and I would travel all the prides all up and down the coast. Well, I really thought they meant it when they screamed things like tolerance and love, because I meant it, and I walked up and down those parades, and I really felt something, or so I thought. But then I realized right when we left those parades, nobody was practicing that. And I went above and beyond, always shouldn't try to practice that. And I try to always be like accepting or loving or try to hear somebody out first. And it wasn't until I finally just came out and said I'm on the right that I saw the major hate from it. But then it's when it finally clicked. And I don't know why it took me that much to make it finally click, but it finally clicked. Like, the left is not about a goddamn thing they say they're about. Every single thing's a lie. Everything. If you're watching this right now, know that everything they say is a lie. Everything. And it's just so crazy to me that I didn't know that. And I think that people like me and you need to speak out, because we need to tell people about these things, because I think it's crazy that I didn't know that. I was 30 years old and I didn't know that. Like, you know, I really believe them. But when you sit down and think about it, when have they ever helped the Latino community? When have they ever helped the gay community? Like, never. Yeah, ever. I saw a thing today on MSNBC. Did you know that Gavin Newsom gets paid more than any other governor in the United States?
Wow, I didn't know that.
And did you know that me and you living here, paying this crazy gas tax, he had the nerve to say this on the news as well 2 days ago. He said, I'm going to look into why the gas prices are so high. Like, he didn't know. Isn't this insane that these are leaders that we look towards for advice, we look towards for direction, and we claim are the good ones, like Nancy Pelosi or Maxine Waters? These are all California people. You're Northern California, right?
Right.
What do you think about Nancy and what do you think about Nancy and Maxine Waters and all of the California collective of idiots? What do you think about them?
Look, these people are so corrupt that now their kids are coming out of being so corrupt too, and that's what happens. They monopolize their areas. They're like these powerful kings to them. Supporting Diana for District 10. Hopefully, she can bring some noise and we can. Now she needs to retire. I mean, yeah. We're gonna do something good. So she needs to enjoy the rest of her life. Last few days. Well, I mean, the last few days. I mean, I think that you're right about the monopolization of it, and that their kids are. That's Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom's her nephew by marriage, because he married her niece. But those four families, the Browns and the Pelosi's and the Newsoms, they've all been running this state for so long that I don't think people even take into consideration. And like you said earlier with Mexico,
these people have been in office for so long, you have to start to wonder why and where is that corruption coming from, and why do they keep winning when nobody seems to be happy?
And that's not it. They celebrate when they win.
Just like Mexico. That's so crazy, because that's exactly what you said happened in Mexico. You said in Mexico they celebrate, and people are like, why are you even celebrating? But we do here too, and I don't see why. I think that Mexico, I do respect how, not that they're corrupt, but I respect a little bit that you said that it's a little transparent to where people can tell that they're corrupt. Because in America, these criminals go above and beyond to try to claim they're innocent. They go above and beyond to convince us that they're not corrupt. Like, for instance, Gavin Newsom, when he first got into office, he said, I'm going to make my wife the first partner. So gays will like clap their hands. And they did. And I was like, what the? Like, that means that if the first gay couple becomes governor ever, if that happens in our history, then they'll not be able to be the first like partners in history. They won't be able to do that because Gavin took that from them. Or like how they have their method basically is make it seem like it's good, make it seem like it's good, but then inflict our evil powers,
They steal everything. In a few of my videos, I say that the Democrats have kidnapped our communities. They steal everything. They stole the word sanctuary. Sanctuary for us Catholics, our churches are sanctuary, but now the freaking state is sanctuary for criminals. They stole the word dreamers. So of course everybody likes dreamers, but now they took the dream, and they keep taking all this beautiful look. La raza, la raza, it's a beautiful word in Mexico. In Mexico, you expect it to be la raza. That means you're from the people, of the people, for the people. But here, the freaking Chicanos took it into an ideology that la raza, it's a very racist ideology that you don't want to be part of. So now my la raza word is gone.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
The first partner is gone for you guys. The first part, you can't use it for you anymore.
Yeah, but it's not just it's to be honest, it's a wordplay game for them. I feel like they take everything that's positive and make it, because I'll be honest, why did I think it was Democrat? I thought it was Democrat because it sounds better to be progressive than it sounds to be conservative, just because the words themselves. I always thought conservative to me sounds like you're conserving something that's old, something that's you've been doing for a long time that you don't want to change. And I think about the word progressive, and I think I want progress. Of course, I want to grow. I want to be able to change. And I think that's where they had me. And a lot of people don't realize it, but that's where they have a lot of us, because I wasn't until I got into the right that I realized the word conservative isn't bad. When I first turned conservative, I used to tell people this. I said, I'm Republican. I'm not conservative, because I don't like the word conservative. But it's a word play game, and people need to start educating themselves on what's actually happening action-wise, as opposed to what they're saying just with words, because it's really difficult to get people like that are Latino or people that are gay to wake up and listen to us when we are called racist and bigots, because nobody wants to be racist and bigot. But at the same time, everybody wants to seem like we're progressive. We all want to progress, right? So who wants to say that's bad? Nobody. So they use these words to manipulate us and to use us as puppets, And I think both of our communities are used that way, except for my community is used like a attack dog, like a guard dog or something. And you guys, they're keeping you guys from voting. I feel like they don't want you to vote. They don't want you guys to say your guys' values, because I'm afraid that they will find out that you guys' values align with ours a lot. So what they do is they try to always push border onto the Hispanic community. And I see that so much. They always want to talk about that. Like if you see a Mexican walk into the room, they want to say, what's your position on the border? If you see a white person walk in the room, they say, how do you feel about Donald Trump or America? You know what I mean? And if you see a black person walk in the room, it's, how do you feel about racist Donald Trump? They always try to pander like that. And it's crazy that only white people actually get a platform to where we can speak for what we feel about America as a whole. You know what I mean? And I do see that. Now, am I going to say like it's a leftist racism thing? No, it's not. This isn't racism. This is just simply reality. And the ones doing it is the left, to be honest. So I think it's crazy that they're not letting us just have an equal platform to where I can have a conversation with you about America. And we don't have to talk about our separate groups. But unfortunately, as of now, we do. And I think that our role is important right now, because we are speaking for our communities that are told that they're minorities. We're spreading the word that if we come together, we could be the majority. But I do hope for one day to live in a country that we don't have to have these separations where we could just be human beings. And if you walk outside and see your neighbor wearing a different outfit than the one you're wearing, let that be your social cue that we're all different. It shouldn't be a shock, and I think that we should stop putting these barriers in between us. But unfortunately, like I said, they're there. So we have to work with them, and it sucks. But I'm glad that me and you are using it to our advantage.
When we first started, we had to use Latinos for Trump, blacks for Trump, gays for Trump, because they wanted to say that Trump didn't have the support of these groups, but he does. And yeah, I always apologize, sort of like, I'm sorry, I'm always talking about Hispanics and Latinos, but that's my job, to wake up this so that people know that there is a platform where they can go to, and that Manuel, Pablo, Juan, they know that they too can be part of this MAGA plan, MAGA movement, and there's room for them here.
I want people to know the one thing. It is our jobs. Honestly, we work really hard at it, and I think that both of us are making big strides within our communities. And I think it's important that we keep on doing that. But if anybody here thinks that because he said job that we're making like millions or something, no. Anybody who thinks that we're doing this after attention, no. I have less money now than I've ever had before. It is hard, yes. But I don't stop because I get those messages. And it sounds crazy, but I get those messages. I'm sure you get them too. The small messages when somebody simply says, thank you, like you've changed like my life, or you changed the way I was thinking about things, or you've even made me and my family come together, or things like that. I'm sure you get it a lot because you obviously do. You are getting so much attention online. There's so much hate and so much love. It's crazy to go. Today I was studying you. So to study Marco Gutierrez, it is a lot. There's a lot to read about Marco Gutierrez. Anyways, but I think that it's pretty awesome. So it's worth it. It's worth it. Even though, no, we're not here for fame. No, we're not here to get rich quick, because this is not the way. If I was going to get rich, I wouldn't be doing this like at all. But I wanted to just put that out there because a lot of people do think that people like me and you are out there maybe trying to be something that we just wish to be or aspire to be. I don't know. I hear so many things, especially today reading about Latinos for Trump. I heard a lot of satire going around saying that they're doing this for money, that they're trying to get money for people. And that's not the case at all. And at all. Trust me. It's not the case. If it is, Marco, you're holding out on all of us, because if it's the case for you, it ain't for us.
Yeah, no,
I love money.
There's really no money in this, and I'm happy that there is no money in the movement, because the real people, that are doing this for the right reasons, are the ones that are gonna prevail. And I see so many people out there that have lasted all this 4 years, 5 years, and it's people that have been doing this for the right reason, and they're not doing it for a power position or for money. And that's how the government should be too. That's why elected officials shouldn't get paid a lot of money. Look, Trump's doing it for free, but how do this Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters explain their fortunes when they're making $200,000 a year, and they have millions and millions? I mean, their kids have been getting paid a lot, and there's a lot of, there's a lot of business that we don't know about that has been done because they use their name to justify those high commissions, high money they get.
And then we have people like me and you who live in California who can barely afford gas and for our cars, and like barely even afford a car at this point, and like paying way crazy amounts of money just to live in an apartment. I live in an apartment, and it's so expensive. It's so crazy. And we're gouged in California more than any other state, and it's noticeable. So it is crazy to me too that they make so much. And I agree with you. I think that people that are in powerful positions shouldn't be doing it for the money. So they shouldn't entice them with money. We should be getting people in there who simply want to help along a good cause or help along America in a good ways. Right now, we need people who want to fix America, but hopefully we get to a point one day to where we can just find that good steady pace and keep moving forward with it, as opposed to always having to fix us. Because I hate that we're always broken, And so we need politicians who want to be politicians, not who want to be politicians. And so I think it's very important as well. But you're right. They shouldn't make that much money. It's crazy that they do. They make more money than people out there that are sweating every day, like breaking their backs working. They're making so much money, and they just sit up there and say, I hate Donald Trump. And that's like it these days.
You can't have rich government and poor people. It's just the people, The citizens should be the rich ones. The teachers should be the rich ones out there. The people that really count. The politicians, if they're going to be statesmen, as it calls for, there should be of service to the people.
Right. The problem is we've given all the power to the politicians. When that's what I love about Trump as well. Trump is giving the power back to where it belongs, back to the Congress and back to the leaders, because it's important that we do talk about that part as well. And what we've done as Americans is we've elected somebody and assumed now that we've elected them, they will fix us. So let's just sit back and watch. No, we elect them in and they make the decision, but we tell them what decision to make. And people forget that. They forget that we are in charge. We, the people, are in charge. We tell them what we want done, and they simply are our pawn. They have to just go out and do it. But the roles have switched in the past, I would say 30, 40 years. And now the politicians, they have all the power and we let them. And that's why it's time that we got to stop letting them have any power. We got to start taking back our country and letting them know that you work for us. They work for us. We don't work for them. Like, that's just the way it is. But it's unfortunate, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. And so what last thing I want to talk to you about is we're going to be together at the Recall Gavin Newsom rally in Sacramento. Do you live near Sacramento? I mean, don't say where you live.
About an hour from Sacramento.
Cool. I live like 9 hours away. Yeah, I'm driving up with Valentina.
Oh, okay.
If you're watching right now, Valentina, hi.
You know, Valentina is one of the original Latinos for Trump, and we did a lot of work together, and we went through all, you know, this fight to support Trump. It wasn't easy. I mean, you're right. I mean, we have spent time and money into this, and we're not getting paid for it. But you know what? I believe that there's no way to help our communities without helping yourself. Right. And they're on the road, you know. And I go to sleep and I feel good about myself, you know. Yeah, me too. Yeah, but I see a shift. The best part about it is that for once I feel like we have a chance. We really have a chance here. Like, I feel it. Like, I feel it every day. Like, I see more and more people waking up. And, you know, there are days when I simply go online and I'm like, oh crap, the whole world sucks. Like, there's days that you see like we're losing, or you feel like we're losing. But when I talk to anybody who watches the movement, or who even maybe even outside of the movement, they all see what's going on and people are waking up by the droves. So it feels good to know that, like, I think it's working. And that's why I want to keep going. I want to keep going regardless, because it really is working. And I really feel like in my heart, like, I feel so much more positivity than I felt before, but there's still a lot of work to do, lots of work to do. And there's still so many people on the left that hate and that want to hurt people. But they're only wanting to get crazy, and they're going to get crazier because we've been winning and we're going to keep on winning. I don't think we have another option. Well, somebody read on the that, I don't know what the name of that website is, the Neighborhood Watch or something like that. Doctor Neighborhood. There's like 800 signatures already. Is that how many signatures we have with the Recall Newsom? For the Recall Newsom, I'm not sure about how many they have exactly, but I do know that people down here are getting a lot. Like, I've heard that there's big numbers. I haven't heard if anybody's counted them yet. I can actually look right now, because I have some people out here that are working really hard in Southern California that are pushing really hard for this. One of my friends named Valerie, bless her soul, Valerie's so awesome. Valerie said the other day, she did, it was my day off, so I stayed home, and I still got 17 signatures from people walking past my house. 17. That's crazy. I was like, first of all, where do you live? Like, people walk past your house that much? Second of all, it felt really good to see that there's people out there pushing that hard for it, because we really have a chance here as well, not just with America, but with California in general. We have a chance to really change things and really get them out. And we've never had somebody listen to us like this, you know, but they're really hearing us out this time. Let's see the numbers. She doesn't have them out yet, but they're talking about counting them. That's what I was looking for. But they're counting them and stuff. You've already heard a total? Oh, somebody was saying a big number here, and I was saying that if people that are not in politics are already talking about it, that's a good thing. So it's a neighborhood watch that we have here that was throwing that number out there.
That's really, really cool because go ahead.
We're gonna have this rally, so we're gonna be making sure that people in California understand.
Yeah, definitely. Because there's a lot at stake. As if we already haven't had a bunch taken from us. We've had so many changes in California that are negative, and so many things happening to our personal lives and our families and stuff that are negative because of Gavin Newsom just simply being in office already. I think that it's going to be important to educate people because this is going to be a bipartisan event. This event is for both sides of the aisle because we want people to know that it's about California. This event's not going to be about Trump and stuff, although we are very pro-Trump and we do what we do in our communities. This event, though, is going to be a little different. This event's going to be for California, and we need to wake up everybody and realize that, like, just because you're on the left doesn't mean that you have to enjoy paying $10 a gallon of gas, you know? So it's okay to recall Gavin Newsom. We're not trying to recall him so that the right will win. We're trying to recall him so that the morals that are right will win, you know? And that's for all of us. Even if you can be anti-Trump all you want, but you got to know and you got to be able to see that if you live in California, how Gavin Newsom is hurting us. Like, I don't think anybody in California could say that he's doing great. I haven't even heard that ever. In fact, I've never heard that. Have you?
No.
I've never heard somebody say Gavin Newsom's awesome. Like, there's never been anything good about him.
And also, the tool here in California is they take a lot of money on your gas, but they also take a lot of money on your.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I don't mean to interrupt. But Lindsay just now commented that she said there's 700K signatures so far. Are you serious? That's awesome. We're on our way. We need, what, 2 million, I think they said? That's insane. And then we're coming from California. Like, we have 700,000 so far. We still have months, you guys. This is awesome. Wow, thanks, Lindsay. I had no idea it was that high already. Damn.
I think that was on this page. I think it's neighborhood back. Look.
Backdoor.
The new registration, the car registration, it went up like 50% or like double. Like, did you see that?
Yeah.
And that's how they get a lot of money. And then they laugh about every Sacramento, Christopher. They laugh about us. They go and they said, now we have this bill, taxpayer sponsored bill. That's how they call it. We didn't sponsor anything because we didn't vote for it. They know they have a monoparty system that they can just pass anything they want to us as we passed that. We voted for it.
Did you hear that? Gavin Newsom said he's going to be taking the money from the gas tax and put it towards something else. Not good and put it towards our roads and our structures, like he said. He said, "Oh, I'm going to borrow this money that you guys just voted." We voted, even though I voted against the gas tax. The people who voted for it to go, the money to go to those roads and to go to fix those structures. And he literally just got that money, and immediately he already made an executive order saying he's going to borrow it and take it and put it other places. Like, you can't do that to people. You can't lie to people. What the, literally taking the money and said, now that you voted and now they got the money, I'm not going to use it for what I said I would. I'm going to use it for something different. Like, what the fuck? Like, is this really happening? Like, it's incredibly insane. He doesn't give a damn about us, but that's why it's important for all of us. It's more than just gas. I think the gas thing is an easy thing that we can all relate to. It's an easy thing to where we all feel that every time we go to the gas pump, we're like, especially when we see our family members and our friends from other states talking about, we pay $1 less, we pay $2 less. In Texas, it's $2 a gallon. And we're like, what the, like, you know, like, we have to know, like, there comes a time when it's enough is enough. But like I just said, it's more than just a gas thing. There's so many different things that he's doing that is just incredibly crazy, like giving the votes back to criminals. Criminals already proved they can't make good decisions. Why would you want them to be able to vote for the president of the United States of America? Also, he's like giving illegals health care over us. So you got naturalized. You know that. So you got naturalized. And how does it feel now that now you have to pay for health insurance, but the people who come illegally who didn't go through the process of getting naturalized, oh, well, they get it for free. Like, it's almost like you get more benefit to being illegal than you do by getting naturalized, you know?
You know, actually, I did say that about 9 years ago to be an illegal because they were not paying taxes. That I don't want to blame them so much. I blame.
Oh, it's not their fault. They're being lied to as well. Yeah.
There's and it's them that we gotta go to and say, hey, this is not right. There's a lot of illegals that get their feelings hurt when you getting government assistance, and they say, well, I have never got any assistance from the government. Well, they are, because they're using the same roads, same parks, they're using the same lighting, and now they're going to be using the same medical that we use. So burden, and they shouldn't get their feelings hurt. They should just see that we're trying to figure out how to best allocate our funds so that things work better for everybody.
Yeah. And I think when it comes to the illegal situation as well, I agree with you. I don't think we should blame the illegals as much as we should the leaders. It's 100% the leaders, in fact, because they're being told to come to America, and it's easy to just come here illegally and stuff. They're being bribed by the leftist leaders, especially the ones of California. And I think it's really sad to me. I used to say this during the caravan time when they were first coming here. I used to say that I feel for those people. So what I did was I started a charity on Facebook, and I had people donating money, and I sent money to Texas. I sent money to New Mexico. I sent money to Arizona and to San Diego and California to give the children shoes. We sent pizzas to the one in New Mexico, the Greyhound station where they had them stored, the people at. I sent money to Texas. My friend said she's going to take pizza, and said she went to buy books, took the kids books because they said they couldn't have food there. But the point is this: they're human. These are human beings. And should they be treated bad? No. Should they not be coached to come here and we'll give you all these incentives? No. That's the problem, is that we're treating them like they're dogs, and we have meat hanging in front of their face, and we're trying to lead them to the border, And when they come here because they're hungry people, we use them as ammo, and the left leaves them in the camps. Remember, they said that it was a manufactured crisis. It wasn't real. But then when they went down there and saw that it was real, they were like, oh, but it's still Donald Trump's fault. I think that you're right. It's not the illegals we need to be mad at. We can't be mad at these people. These people are being told that the meat is right here to come get it. And these people are being lured into this so that they can say that it's Donald Trump's fault. For instance, the crisis border got so crazy at the border, it still is, where it's so jam-packed, where these people are in inhumane conditions because we don't have the resources or the money to take care of this many people who come here at the same time. And the leftist leaders said it was manufactured because to them, it wasn't bad enough. And that's why I think the only people who actually hate illegals are the left leaders. They don't care about them. They don't give a damn about any of them. And it really hurt me to see that,
Obama loved the poor so much that people. And guys, food stamp, $30 million just here in California advertising food stamps, because those were his clients. Now he demoralized them. He made them go hungry so they wouldn't need him. I think that we should be mad at this corporate this healthcare insurance, because of course they just got 11 million new clients, this high cost medicine, right? So they're just the meat on the hook. The money is going to go to the corporations. They have all these pills. They prescribe a pill really didn't need for $1,000 a month. That's how much the pill is.
It's so crazy. That's a pill.
I don't think, and I'm probably
is it the cure?
I'm going to probably get in trouble for saying this, but I think the doctors are going to profit from this. There's nothing better for them than a new Latino illegal with so much money on that guy. It's crazy.
And in turn, they keep the Latinos, they keep them poor. And first what they do when they get here, they put them in these places, make them hate Republicans. Then they put them out into America and they make them poor. And they tell them, because you're poor, you have to be Democrat, so you vote for me. And then these leftist politicians who just did all that, they work next to the the pharmaceutical companies who go next in with the healthcare and want to charge the Latinos all this stuff and then say, oh, well, it's medical that comes from the government. So then next, it's us who have to pay all of our taxes so that they can use that money and soak up all that money. So you're right. They do love the illegals. They do love the poor people because that's their ticket to have more money. And at the end of the day, they don't care about any of the lives they're using to do so. Like they're using our tax dollars, but at the same time, they're using illegals' lives and they're pitting us against one another. Do you know if America and if everybody just woke up and we all came together and looked at the government and said, what are you guys doing to us? We would be able to rise up. We could overcome all this so easily, but how can we when so many people believe those lies of separation and the lies that illegals are bad people, or the lies that they tell illegals that Republicans are bad people, it's not fair to humanity in general.
Now,
it's simply just not.
Remember that a lot of illegal parents are going to be able to vote this presidential election. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get to these kids without, getting them more offended. They already are, but for them to see the reality that this is not right what they're doing, that they're being emotionally seduced, they're being emotional of them emotionally. But Univision,
I'm right. That's actually what I'm trying to do too. That's actually what I'm trying to do with my community. I'm trying to get them to see that you guys are being used. They're using you and they're using your emotions and they're making you feel that negative mind space. Like they're making you angry and they're making you hate people, and just hate in general is bad. And they're really using you. And it's hard to, how do we do that? How do we do that?
Well, Christopher, the best way to help a Democrat, you know what it is? You know what the best way to help a liberal is?
What? Sounds like a joke.
It's not becoming one of them.
Well, then I'm helping every day.
Right. Being an example, because I know they're looking at you. And every time they go to bed, they know they question the smile. They see your character, and they want to be like you too. We just need to help them make that transition. But it's okay for them to walk away like you did. It's okay for them to not.
Right. So I think that's me and you, that's where our positions come in. And it is really important that we keep on making videos. And me and you both need to keep people on being out there because it's slowly happening, but it is happening. And like I said earlier, I feel the energy happening. It's working and we can't give up. And I think that we will win as long as we keep moving forward. But thank you so much for coming on speaking with me. And everybody, we're going to be speaking again, both of us at the Sacramento Capitol. For the Recall Gavin Newsom. It's a bipartisan event. Everybody's welcome. Just come out. Even if you don't know what it's about and you don't know if you want to sign it yet, come out and learn about it. We're going to have a Q&A. We're going to have a lot of people there that will be able to answer any question you have from all types of backgrounds. So come out and find out why we do want to recall him if you don't know why. But thank you so much. And I'll see you on the 2nd. Yes, the 2nd. I should probably know that by heart by now.
Thank you, Christopher. Thank you.
All righty. Have a good one. All right, guys, that's Marco. He's really, really awesome. And he's somebody who, I didn't tell him this, but to be honest with you, he was inspiring to me when I first saw him. When I first saw him, it was a long time ago. And I think it was, I know I was late to the party, but I saw him first, I think it was Fox. He was on the news and he was talking to them. Then I saw a video cut out, while he was speaking, they cut out to one of his videos when he was at a rally and he was wearing this vest and he was speaking about, all these things to Latinos, and Latinos, they're not exactly the most tolerant, the ones who speak out. And I also saw him on some Berkeley videos. So, if you guys know anything about Berkeley, it was crazy. It gave a lot of people a platform, which is good. So, I think it was opposite of what the Antifa people wanted, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. But I saw him at Berkeley as well. And he's somebody who always was sticking up for his community. And I hate segregation. I hate separation. I think we're all American and I'm going to continue to push that. And I know he does in the end too, but it felt good to see somebody speak for their community. And it really touched me. And so he really was. He was inspiration when I first started even speaking out, because it was nice to see people of that stand for their community. Because like I gave my whole life to the gay community. I was only about the gay community for 10 plus years. I didn't have not one straight friend. 2016, when I came out of the closet as Republican, I literally had nobody. So to be able to be given an opportunity now, by the way, I was uplifted by all the Christian white people, but to be uplifted by those people who I was told hated me, just to have a platform now to speak for and to my community again feels so good. And there's so many community members in the gay community that have woken up because of my words. And it still shocks me every day when I think about it. I'm like, whoa, like somebody actually listened to what I had to say. Like it was really crazy, but it was so surreal. But it's working. And it's working in the Latino community just like it is the gay community. Is it working the way we want? Of course, we want everything like that. Nobody wants to wait. So I would rather it be fast too. But it's working slowly but surely. So all I could do is tell you guys, come out to our rally on the 2nd at the Capitol Steps, the west side of the Capitol Steps in Sacramento, California, if you're near. If you're not near, then you can always reach out to any of us online. We are all very, very open people. We're open books. So I recommend you guys, they'll come to the rally, talk to us, and see that people from different backgrounds can also have similar ideas. People from different backgrounds can also share a want and a need for equality. And if you live nowhere near California, I do recommend speaking out. Don't hold it in anymore. Don't be a person who wants to stay quiet, because that's not working anymore. And I just told you what we're doing is working. So we need more people to speak out. And if you're scared, don't be. There's nothing to be scared about. When you hear about the anomalies that happen throughout the country of hate or violence, remember, they're just anomalies. I go everywhere with my Trump gear on. I never have been messed with, except for that one time when I went to the Bernie rally. But bitch, I went to a Bernie rally. Like, girl, I went to a Bernie rally. Like, I paid to get in just to take off my shirt and wear a Trump shirt. I was respectable, though. I waited till the end, till Bernie was done talking when he was leaving the stage. And then I took off my shirt and was like, Trump. But I didn't even get to say it. Like I said, Trump. And then immediately I almost died. Okay. Long story short, you can look it up on YouTube. It was scary. But anyways, the point is, it's time that we all speak out. It's time that we all come forward and speak for our communities, because of our communities and as our communities. And we need it more than ever now. And I'm seeing so many gays starting to do that. And it feels so good to know that I'm a part of this movement. I'm a part of this change that we needed for so long. And when I see people like Marco, it makes me feel so good to know that he's doing big things in his community. And that's a huge number of voters. But we're not the left. We're not doing it for the votes. We're doing it for the morality. And we're doing it for just, it's the right moralistic thing to do. And I think once anybody sits down and learns the history of the Democratic Party, they'll see. You don't have to go Republican. You don't even have to support Donald Trump. But can we get back to a place where we're basing our ideals on reality and togetherness and love and understanding and empathy instead of sympathy, hate, violence, and separation? Just an idea. Anyways, guys, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Wait, I cannot go without saying this. Lindsay Grathwall just now commented, says, don't give up on California. We're fighting hard here. That is a point that must be said a lot. I do say that in a lot of videos, but I'm going to say it again. If you are one of those meme makers from anywhere in the country that makes those memes to say like fence off California or whatever, California or Costa or what do they call us? They call us, I heard somebody say like Calimexico or something. Here's the thing. There's a lot of us here. We were duped. They stole their elections, all of the local elections. We were duped. I'm not saying feel sorry for us. I'm not a leftist. We're not victims, but we are victors, and we're gonna fight, and we're gonna get our state back. We're part of America. We were the 5th largest economy in the world, but we're not better than any other state. We don't need to abolish the Electoral College. We all need to have an equal voice, but California is a part of that equal voice. And I don't want people to keep forgetting about us or thinking that they should just write us off. I know a lot of you guys are moving away from California, pussies. I wish I could say something different. I really was trying to think of something really quickly, really nice to say, but no, I have nothing nice to say to you. I think pussies, but whatever. Now everybody can handle it. California's pretty wild, but it's our home. I live here. You live here. You know, this is our home. And I thought about leaving too. I even made posts. I said, if I left California, where would I go? And people were like telling me different places to go. I don't want to go. I'm not going to go. I'm going to fight. This is my home. I live here. And I'm intent on leaving. I live by the beach. I love my life. I love seeing a good goddamn sunset on the beach. I don't want to move somewhere else. I'm not going to. And my streets will get clean and people will start to think with morality because we're not going to stop until it happens and we're not going to give up. And so I want everybody to know that in California, we're fighters. That's why the state is so scary and so ugly because they really believe those leftist lies and we're fighters. So if we could just get all of those people in California to see the truth, imagine what California could do for the rest of the country as a contributor, not as somebody that's better or different. So don't give up on California. Don't shade California and stop saying that we are fucking going to sink into the ocean or what did I say? We're like, our streets are full of human shit. For the record, that's only San Francisco. That's not where I live, okay? It's not all of San Francisco either. It's like one part of San Francisco. So just remember, don't give up on us. And if you guys don't want to help us in the fight, that's cute. Just don't even talk about us, though. Let us work because we're working here hard. And when I see people on the right put down California, you're making our job a lot harder because there might be that one person who's listening to what we have to say. There might be that one person on the edge of about to go towards truth. And they look at Facebook and they see so many people hating Californians. And California is prideful. California is really prideful. So at that moment, they'll think to themselves, fuck the right. Fuck, we are the better ones. We're on the left. Like, you know, California's prideful and we're fighters. So can we stop putting down California? And can we, if anything, join California? Join us in our fight. I asked, when I was at American Priority Conference, I asked Dana Loesch, the speaker of the NRA. I love her, by the way. I asked her, I said, when are you going to come to California? We need help out there. Because as you guys know, our gun laws, like, they're just laws. We don't have guns. We have laws. They don't give anybody a concealed carry permit. It's so hard to obtain one. You need a reason, like something has to happen to you first that you would need a gun to protect yourself with in order for you to be able to apply to get a gun. It makes zero sense. So that Second Amendment in California, I'm like, we have a Second Amendment? You know, like it's hard. So if you are in the rest of America, if anything, join us, help us, spread the word. There's some people here fighting. And if any of you moved out of California, any of you pussies who moved out of California, if you want to give up on us, then that's on you. But I'm going to tell you something. We're going to come back. And we're going to be harder than ever. And you'll always be welcome back home. Just saying. Because we love everybody. All right, guys. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And if you guys want to support me, you guys go patreon.com/theadorabledeplorable. And like I say in every video, I'll see you in the next one.